Alright, hi everyone, this is Nick from Pathway to Oz, and today I'm going to show you how to do the step 2 of the Job Ready program. So migration agents can't actually help out with this, but this is just an example, so you can do it and you can look into it. Migration agents like Pathway to Oz can only assist with steps 1 to 4. But look, the very first step is going to the trades recognition website. Okay, so you come here. This is where the provisional skill assessment would have been lodged, and you'd have your logins for this. We'll come down. If you've already done the first step, we're going to step 2, the Job Ready program. Okay, so, on here, have a read through it so you sort of understand. But basically, step 2 is where you sign up an employer, where you basically count your hours. So, look, have a read through here, guys. But basically, your employer, they're not your sponsor. They're just signing on to say, he's going to be working for us. So just a quick look into the eligibility for step 2. You've got a positive provisional skill assessment. You've lodged a visa. You hold or have lodged a visa. So if you've lodged your 485 visa, that's fine. Or if you've already been granted your 485 visa, that's fine. You've got employment in your occupation. And there's less than, if you are on a student visa, there's less than 4 months. If you scroll down, some of the documents you'll need to provide, which we'll get into more details. The employer verification form, you'll need a copy of your visa or bridging visa, previous pay evidence, and a copy of your passport. Okay? So basically, to be able to do it, look, you can actually count up to 3 months of your previous experience. Okay, so that's what this is talking about here. Basically, if you finished your Cert 3 qualification, you are skilled in the occupation, you can count up to 3 months after, or you can count up to 3 months, before you lodge your step 2. So usually, if you finish in, June or July and you get back your provisional skill assessment in September, you can count back from September, 3 months. You will need pay slips for that. I'd also recommend, having a look in detail through the guidelines. These sort of details everything. So it's quite a long book. I'm going to skip forward. Obviously, those are the costs. If you do the provisional skill assessments, $300. The Job Ready Step 2 is $500. So that's what we're talking about. We've already done the provisional skill assessment, so we're going to step this. And we're going to go straight down to the eligibility or step 2, the Job Ready employment. So basically, you've got to receive your provisional skill assessment, have less than 4 months remaining on your student visa, or have lodged, a graduate visa, or hold a graduate visa. Basically, it talks about some of the documents. So look, the documents you're going to need, okay, is going to be your EVR report, which we're going to get to, a copy of your current visa, evidence of your pay, so your previous employment, if you're claiming employment before you start, you can claim up to 3 months, and copies of your passport. Look, it also says it's a decision-ready application, so they want you to lodge everything, ready for it, and you can change employers. All right, so look, I'm just going to quickly go back to the trade recognition website just for easy use. So if I'm doing step 2, coming and clicking on step 2, and I am going through and making sure that I have got all my documents. So my employer verification report, look, you're going to need to get. So then, for ease of use, I'm going to do carpenter. But basically what I'm doing, this just, you get this filled out by your employer. So you come here, you get it, you put in your reference number, your name, all your details here. Are they working as a carpenter, the details of the business, task performance, and they'll talk about, what you do in your occupation. Look, just be honest and upfront with it. You don't need to do every single trade, every single part of the trade. Obviously, every job doesn't do every single part. But just, talk about, what you do, what you don't do, etc. And TRA will use this to assess if you are, working in the occupation. You print this off and you get it signed by your employer or your supervisor, and you save it as a PDF. So you print it off, fill it out, get your employer to fill it out, and then save it as a PDF before you start. Okay? So look, before I start, I have got in my TRA docs, I've got my bridging visa or my visa grant notice, I've got my pay slips, and I've got my EVR report, and obviously a copy of my passport. All right, so now that I've got all those things prepared, I'm jumping on. So if you go to the Trade Recognition website, you can click here. This is how you log in. Now look, you can log in and log out as much as you want. You type in your username and your password, and you get put through. Now, if this is the first time that you're coming through to it, you've already done the provisional skill assessment, so you go into the step 2, the job ready program. So click on that. It'll come here, and you've got to put in, whatever visa you've got, your visa number, and the dates of the visa. So if you've got a bridging visa, you put that in. If you've got a 485 visa, you put that in, etc. And you go through. Okay, cool. And then from here, look, you put down, your employer's details, which should be on that EVR form, the date you started employment. Now remember, you can count up to 3 months prior to the provisional skill assessment. What type of work it is, and everything like that. You then print the form. And you'd print the form, and you would get it signed by your employer and signed by you as well down here. Save that as a PDF, so you've got it saved in there. You go through and then you upload all the documents next. So all the documents you've got in your folder, you upload all of these, and then you pay the $500 charge. Once you do this, you'll get emailed a receipt, which details what you've paid, and also just another email confirming that the visa has been received, or the enrollment step 2 has been received. It talks about the requirements, claiming prior employment, and the next step. So have a detailed read through that. All right, so this is actually the details of someone who's already gone through and paid. So once you've paid step 2, you can jump back on and see what documents you've uploaded, or you can upload new documents down here. So you've got your employment, prior experience, so your pay slips. You've got your verification form and your visa grant notice. You'll also need a copy of your passport. And then basically TRA will touch base with you. You'll keep accruing your hours, and then you'd go through to step 3, which is the workplace skill assessment. Look, I hope you found that helpful. Basically, you go through, do that, then TRA will touch base with you. But basically, look, guys, just have a detailed read through the have a detailed read through the guidelines. They're there for a reason. They're available on the Trade Recognition website. So check it out.